Hello, this is Natasha from YMO Homeschool, and today I'm here to give you a flip through of Writing with Ease and also explain to you a little bit of the difference between the hardcover Strong Fundamentals book and the student workbooks. The workbook I have here is level 1. So this book could essentially be used for preschool through 4th grade, and you don't have to have a workbook. You can just use this, okay? But let me explain that to you. So in the beginning of this book, this is by Susan Wise Bauer. She is the creator of The Well-Trained Mind. It's now Peace Hill Press. The beginning of this book talks about the writing process, how to use this book, and where you should begin. Then part 2 begins the lessons. Preschool and kindergarten, that is really short. It just gives you, it's basically talking about, teaching through informal learning. All right, and then it gets into year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. And it breaks it down by week what you need to do. Now, let me get into year 1 because I want to show you what that looks like. So in this book, it has year 1, weeks 1 to 3. Week 1, it gives you some information here, and it gives you the passages that the student should copy. So you would need a separate notebook for the student to copy here. And it tells you what you should be focusing on, which is capitalization and punctuation. And then day 2, the first narration exercise, it gives you a passage to read. It tells you the questions to ask the students. Again, day 3, copy work, tells you what to copy. Day 4, narration, gives you the passage to read to them, gives you the questions and possible answers. But then you will notice weeks 2 to 3 says follow the same pattern as above. Day 1, copy work. Day 2, narration exercise. Day 3, copy work. Day 4, narration exercise. And it says to choose sentences that contain the first names of particular people. Explain to the student that these are called proper names and should begin with a capital letter. And it's telling you to pull these from some of their other coursework, like their history, science, and literature books. So this requires more work on you. It walks you through week 1, and then for weeks 2 and 3, you have to come up with your own copy work and your own narration, but it gives you guidelines on how to do that. And then again, weeks 4 to 10, see, it starts out here giving you exactly what you need, but then weeks 5 to 10 gives you the framework. So this requires work on your part. However, this book is less than $25, and to take you from preschool to 4th grade, that is a good deal. Now, keep in mind that this book is often available at libraries, and in fact, I've checked it out a few times from my library before I actually purchased it. Finally, I figured it would be a good investment for me to just go ahead and purchase it. Now, I also have the workbook. This is the level 1 workbook. They have a workbook for 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in this workbook, you don't have to do any of that work yourself. So you don't have to come up with any of their narration passages or any of the copy work. It's all in here for you. So you'll see number 1 has exactly the same narrations and copy work as in the book. But then when we get to week 2, look here, it's done for us. So we don't have to come up with that. So for every single week, it has all the narration and all the copy work laid out for you. In addition, in the back, skip to the right page here, it has, if I can get to it, almost there. There we go. It has, well, first of all, it has 36 weeks, so I should mention that. But then in the back, and it's quite a big chunk of the book, is the student pages or the workbook. And you can make photocopies within your own family. So that means if you have more than one student or you'll have younger ones coming up, you can buy this once and just photocopy it. And then what I actually probably will do is have this unbound, and I will have the first section bound, that's my teacher part, and then I'll have the second section bound for the student. So you can get that done at Office Max, but you don't have to do that, but just for ease of use for myself. So then you'll see that it has the work pages for them to do their copy work. and to write down their narrations. And so it has everything you need here. So this saves you a lot of time. However, it is not completely necessary. You can just use this, but do know you will have to pull a lot of your own narration and copywork passages from other sources. But you may like doing that. Perhaps you want to choose something from their history or science or even the Bible. But it gives you guidelines of what types of passages you should be looking for that week for the skill that will be focused on. So that is how this works. And so again, it has all these pages here, has all the teacher pages here. It is scripted, so it tells you exactly what to say. So if you need a little more hand-holding or just like convenience, I would say definitely try to get the workbook. If you think you are fine with having a little more creativity and don't mind spending the time, then you can just totally get by with this. So it is really just a personal preference. And I prefer to have the workbook just because that makes it a little bit less time consuming for me. However, I am actually debating whether or not I want to get the level 3 workbook for another daughter, or if I just want to go ahead and use this. So we'll see. But if you can, get the workbook if you think it will help you. Otherwise, you can just completely use this for preschool through 4th grade. This one little book will help you guide your students. Now, in case you haven't realized it yet, this program in these primary years do not focus on creative writing. That's kind of Susan Wise Bauer's MO, is that students don't have to be coming up with their own unique thoughts yet when they're in those early elementary school years through 4th grade. That really they're learning writing through copywork and narration. So this style may fit some families and may not fit others. But what I particularly like about this is the narration, because I find that sometimes kids will have a hard time focusing on what is read aloud to them and holding that information in their mind and then narrating it back. So as you go through this, they start to get better and better at doing that, which helps them in all areas of study when they learn to hold information in their mind and then are able to narrate it back. That will be very useful later on when they learn to take notes, when they're doing reports. That will help them not plagiarize because they will hold information in their mind, but then will be able to narrate it back in their own words, that sort of thing. So I think this is very useful for what it is aimed to accomplish. You could also consider using this and then using a separate creative writing program. You could do that too. But anyway, I hope that was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.